Some of the more memorable moments last year for the Michigan Wolverines as we look at what's ahead for Team 146, second season under Sharon Moore. Huge SEC road game in Norman in week 2, and as far as the conference slate goes, the Wolverines will miss Penn State, Oregon, Illinois in the regular season. Of course, November 29 is the day circled on everybody's calendar. Michigan will try and win its 5th straight over Ohio State. They haven't done that since the 1920s. It has been a minute. Max Bredeson, Ernest Hausmann, and Derrick Moore joining us on set here in Las Vegas. Gentlemen, it's great to see you. Welcome to Vegas. Max, I should start with you since you're the media day vet. You were here last year. You did so well. They brought you back. How's this experience compared to last year?
It's been cool. Vegas is a little different, but we've had so much fun so far, and it's been a cool trip so far.
I heard you guys didn't get the best meal last night, though. Is that possible in Vegas?
That was you.
Well, I ended up getting Raising Cane's.
Okay, all right. That's
good.
not bad. Okay, let's talk about it. We just saw some of the highlights from last year, and I think about it as a whole, 8 wins. It wasn't exactly where you wanted, but the way that you finished and the way that you beat Ohio State and then Alabama in the bowl game, and Derrick, you played terrific in that game. How do you look back on last season?
Looking back on last season, I feel like that's going to give us, that right there is just pretty much going to give us a lot of momentum going into this year. I feel like when it came to like them last 2 games, a lot of people doubted us. But I feel like the doubt is still there, going into this year because a lot of people who we lost or who we don't have. But I pretty much love the guys who we rocking and rolling with, and I feel like it's a hungry team this year, and we could pretty much just going to dominate anybody who come across us.
Love that answer. And I know you've said that last year was a lesson. So what was the lesson?
I feel like the lesson for us, I really would say like we wasn't too much of a team yet. I feel like we ain't had a team chemistry yet. We really ain't know our identity yet. But now I feel like it's there now. I feel like Coach Moore and the rest of the staff did a good job of pretty much helping us find out our identity and always putting the team first.
It is a process, I think, and every year when you start the season, you're never the same team as you are at the end of the year. Ernest, for you, I think about you coming over to Ann Arbor from Nebraska, and you had to ingratiate yourself to this team. What does it look like on the inside of the locker room? What are some of the things that you've done as a leader of this team to try to make those connections and that chemistry?
Yeah, for myself, I look at it as about just your daily habits. Like those are the daily habits that you have each and every day, or what's going to be shown on Saturdays. And so any way that we can, as leaders, inject that into our own teammates, into the team, I think it's going to pay dividends to us on Saturdays. It's
hard to know what it's going to look like until you actually get out there and play on Saturdays. But for you, you've played in a lot of games in that uniform. You've been here a long time, a leader of this group. What is your sense of what Team 146 is going to look like?
Yeah, definitely an excited team. Excited team that a lot of guys that want to prove themselves right. We're not just looking to prove people wrong. And there's no greater motivation than when you've had something and you can't have it anymore. So we're going to go back and go get that again.
43 games is how many you've played in. You voted Michigan's toughest player last year. You could have gone to I know that's got to feel good, right? I mean, I don't know if that jags the guys at the end of the set here.
I didn't know it was that.
Yeah. You could have gone to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Why did you decide to come back?
I love Michigan with everything I have. I'd play 10 years here if they'd let me. Part of it is you don't want to be the captain that went 8-5, and I love this place too much to leave it like that.
I don't think people fully appreciate the fullback position. I think when you play tight end and fullback, and especially with the new offensive coordinator and Chip Lindsey, a lot of people are excited to see what that might look like from your perspective.
Yeah.
What have you seen so far?
It's been great so far with Coach Lindsey. It's still Michigan football. Michigan football will always be represented by that block M, physicality, violence to the point of attack. But Coach Lindsey's done a great job bringing in some of that extra flair, some fun down the field, and we got guys who are ready to go do that.
What do you think people misunderstand about the position you play?
It's pretty well understood. It's as violent as you can get. So it's a well understood position, but one I take a lot of pride in.
Versatile and violent, I think, are the 2 words that you have used. Would you guys agree that those are 2 good words to describe this guy?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's something interesting there's so much about the offense and the defense, and you guys get to go against each other, obviously, in camp and every day in practice. Iron sharpens iron. Tell me what you have seen from this offense so far, and there's a guy named Bryce I think people are pretty excited about.
Yeah, Bryce is as good as advertised. The thing I'm most impressed about Bryce is his maturity. You would never tell how old he is when he first came in that locker room. Just the way he conducts his business, he just fits right well with that quarterback room. They're just a bunch of hard workers. They do things behind the scenes that nobody sees, that nobody knows about. And, to join that room, we're very excited to have him part of the football team. I'm excited to see move forward.
Derrick, I know that you have a good perspective, and Wink Martindale talked about you had a lot of almost sacks last year. You affect the quarterback. You do a lot of different things. What's your perspective on Bryce?
My perspective on Bryce, same thing. Really mature. When you look at him, he don't look like an average 17-year-old or an average freshman. Just the way he carry himself and the way that he take care of his body. Just watching him like pre-practice wise, he out there 20, 30 minutes before by himself going over the script. And also like he's one of the first guys and one of the last guys that sometimes I see, always in a facility, just trying to find a way to get better. And that's what I like about him.
I think so much, too, when you talk about pressure and what it means to come in and be a guy like him. You guys all feel it, right? There's a lot of pressure to play the position, to play at a place like the University of Michigan. How do you talk to each other? How do you handle it? Are there different things that you do when you think about how pressure shows up for a team?
Yeah, there's definitely like different ways to go about it. But if you were when you're in high school or your younger self when you're playing football, like you'd want the lights to be as bright as they could be. So we embrace that. We wish they were even brighter. So everyone's got their own way of going about it, but the Michigan method is we just line up the ball, 11 on 11, let's go play football.
Yeah, I mean, we love pressure because when you have pressure, something is expected out of you, and we love that and we embrace that. We know playing at Michigan, representing that block M, there's an expectation, there's a standard, and we have to do that to uphold that each and every day. But that doesn't happen unless we come in that facility with a purpose and attention for what we want to do each day.
For me, I feel like when you under pressure, that really shows you like what type of person you are, and if you are able to overcome that, you pretty much able to overcome anything in life. So I feel like I pretty much always in life always been like under pressure. But for this team, it's going to be times where we're going to be like facing adversity, but I feel like we're going to be able to get through it, and that's going to help us build as a team.
You think about adversity, and you guys went through some adversity last year, and then the way that it ended. I know you've been asked about that Ohio State game a lot. I know you're looking forward and not in the rearview mirror, but going in, I don't know that there were many people outside the guys in your locker room that thought that you actually were going to win that game. What did that mean to you? And of all the games that you've played, I mean, where does that one rank?
Yeah, that one's ranked pretty high. I mean, that's the game. That's why you come to Michigan. So that one means a lot. And the guys in the locker room, like, there's the clip of us walking out, and it's just us versus Sea Red. And we love it. We love our Michigan faithful who are all there. But there's almost like a feeling like, wish there was less. Like, I wish it was just our guys in the field. And it was an unreal feeling because you just feel throughout the whole week of this is just us. Like, let's go there. Let's get the job done.
I'm sure it's fun walking around campus after a game like that, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Sharon Moore, did he show you guys a clip of a Scarface? Is that, did I see that?
Scarface?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I think I've seen that.
All right, well, we'll have to ask him about that when he joins us on set a little bit later. Sharon Moore, he's been with the program since 2018. Obviously, you guys have known him well for a long time, but to be in his first position as the head coach and really taking over this program, he's talked about all the different things that he has learned from year one to year two. From a player perspective, what stands out to you?
I think the number one thing that stands out with me with Coach Moore is how he cares about his players. He just loves his players. That just goes from, he'll call you, when you're not in the facility, and he takes time to sit with you in comments, eat lunch with you. He understands that. He has a high passion. He loves football, and he's coached hard. He has a very high standard for us as players, and the staff. But the only way he can get to us is understanding that he has to spend time with us outside of football and to understand and to develop the relationships that he has with us so he can be hard on us. We all know it all comes from a place of love. And he's done a great job of that. And I know that's why he has success in the recruiting process right now as well, because people understand that he's more than just a coach. He loves you as a player as well, as a person.
And I think that's, as a player, what you want as
Absolutely.
much as anything, right? Because you can play really hard for somebody who loves you and cares about you. Ernest, your path and your story is so interesting, and I know some people know it, but maybe not everybody. So walk us through your path to how you got here. How would you describe it? And back to your roots this summer.
Yeah. My path, my life has been nothing but a blessing. Truly been a blessing. Everything that's been happening in my life has been nothing short of not a coincidence. It's all for a reason. It's been purpose. And God has done all those things and blessed me so beyond I even so thankful. And, being adopted, being born in Uganda, Africa, and I was adopted to America at the age of 5. So blessed with the family I have in America. I wouldn't be here without them. Like, they've supported me beyond tremendously. And, the things obviously diversity, right? Because with adoption, the special things about adoption, from one side of the family, right, it's the best day of their life, right? And one side of things for myself, right, or the adopted child, it can be one of the worst days of their life, right? And for myself, it took time, but understanding that God had that be for a reason, and it just gives you more motivation each and every day to live your life, because it's not just about myself. It's bigger than just myself. It's bigger than just the Michigan program. There's people counting on me on a bigger level, global scale, that I need to do to get my job done each day. So I just use that each day to live my life, to have that be in the back of my mind each day.
It's a beautiful perspective, and we did just see some of the pictures from the trip that you took this summer, back in the spring, to Uganda. You went twice, and it was the first time you'd been back in 16 years?
Yeah, the first time was spring break, March 1st. I went there with my godfather, Mike Owens, and he's a board member of the Foundation 1 Million Wells. And that picture right there, that was the second time I went, and I drilled a well for my family in my village in Ivukala. You see that's just a bunch of kids and people just seeing the machine, and they see the whole machine around the city. They all come and gather to see what's going on. And there's my godfather, Mike Owens, right there drilling. It's one of those things where you really just change your perspective on life. We're here in America, we're so blessed, so fortunate to have easy access to things that we want. We go to the store to go get them, where in many other parts of the world, they can get that easy access. And to just be able to make an impact on lives on others, I feel that's what life's all about.
I love that perspective, and I do think it's, what's great about a locker room, right, is that you get to learn the stories of these other guys and these brothers. Derrick, for you, I believe that you hosted a youth camp at your hometown in Baltimore recently.
Yes.
How did that come together? Why was it important?
I feel like it was a pretty good turnout, especially for my first camp. I believe it was like 300 kids that signed up. That's what I believe, so I can't remember. And why I wanted to do that, I really wanted to show a way to the youth back home in Baltimore that it's a way, and it's also a lifestyle, outside of Baltimore. I feel like a lot of kids in Baltimore, they get caught up in so much of like the street lifestyle, and pretty much, always get trapped into it, and sometimes they ain't got no mentor or anything like that to like help them, get out of that. So I try to just, show them it was a kid at one point in time who was also in the same shoes as them, but kind of just, blocked out all the outside noise, and really just had one goal, and that goal is pretty much taking care of my mom, and now I'm on a path to do that. And that's all I really want to do, just show them a way. And, going forward, I would like to keep that going on, and also, continue to do, the best as I can for my community.
This is why I love media days, and I'm not joking. I think it's awesome to be able to talk to you guys about this stuff and some of the stuff that's really important away from the game. And I think about, just what a 10-year-old Derrick Moore would be like showing up to that camp. I'm sure you'd have a few helpful hints for him as well. Before we let you go and get on with the rest of your day, all three of you guys are known for your toughness, your energy, your leadership. I want to ask you what you admire specifically about the two guys sitting next to you.
I could talk about these guys for hours. To start with Derrick, like a quiet, stable presence in the locker room. Like, everyone knows what D Moore is about. Like, the right guy for the job. Anyone can lean on Derrick for whether it be to play or to talk to. Like, that guy's a real warrior. I can say the same thing about being a warrior to earn. Like, a guy who you get to see all the stuff about him and what he's done. Like, the guy's just quiet about his work. Doesn't need to tell everyone about what he's done. He's just a worker. A guy who just cares about the right things, does everything right, and just doesn't do it for him. He does it for the people around him. That's what really makes him so special. But both these guys are unbelievable football players, and everyone loves their teammates, but the way they love their teammates back is what makes these two so special.
I mean, we should have had Max go last, because that was really good. I don't know how you guys are going to follow that up. Go ahead and try, Ernest.
Oh, thank you, Max. No, for Max, man, I remember my first day, when I came to the University of Michigan from Nebraska, and I remember Max specifically. The thing about Max is his passion, his drive. You can see on his face, you can see when he walks to the facility, and the energy and how he just plays the game of football. He just loves the game. And the way, like, iron sharpens iron. And, me and him, we go at it a lot and practice a lot. And we just know it just makes us better. There's no hatred, there's no bad blood within it. It's all love, and we love it. And that's what I love about that about Max. Derrick, a lot of times, he's looking back for the call each play, but he's someone that he's such a reliable, such a trusted guy. He doesn't say much, But all he does is look. I look at him. He looks at me, and I just know he's gonna get the job done. He's gonna know his assignment and do his job. And then beyond that, in the locker room, his presence on the team, everybody knows that you can look at D Moore and you know he's gonna get the job done. And that's the thing about these two players. They're just beyond. I don't think they understand the benefit that they have to the whole team. Because for myself, being from the portal, come from a different team. You really see that these two players are here are super special. And I'm so fortunate and blessed to have them be a part of my team.
All right, Derrick, I'm going to let you out of this because we've only got about 10 seconds, so in the best you can about these guys, and then you can go continue it off set.
I can keep it nice and short. You know, when you think about both of these guys, first thing that come in mind is dog. Both of them dogs. And really, when you think about the University of Michigan and like the football program, these guys are the standard. You know, Brady been here for a long time. He know what the standard is. So I look up to him also as a leader from my perspective. You know, and just learn a lot from him. You know, and just try to soak in every much information or action I can. You know, to help challenge myself as a leader. You know, and help better myself. And then Ernest, that's my linebacker. So. He just brings the energy, and also, the way that he carries himself in a good way, and also he a caring person. He let it give back to others, and that's all I gotta say.
Well, clearly all three of you are terrific representations of what it means to be a University of Michigan football player. Thank you for spending the time. Thank you for giving each other your flowers and humoring me. I very much appreciate that, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.